Hey guys, it's PokeDude. Time for another Fake Grand Order tips and trivia video. This episode's going to be a little different. Rather than focusing on a specific subject, I'm going to give some general tips for people who are about to start playing or who have only been playing for a couple months. Tip number 1. Make sure you get a good servant on your first gacha roll. The tutorial summon is guaranteed to give you a 4-star servant from a certain selection, but some are better than others. If you get one you're not happy with, then you should just scrap the account and start over. Without getting too in-depth, I'll just say that most of the possible results are fine. The best one is easily Heracles. He's powerful and he's really hard to kill. The worst ones are Siegfried and Steno. Siegfried isn't that useful since his Noble Phantasm is designed for dragon enemies, but there aren't many Lancer or Berserker class dragons in the early game, so as a saber, you're not going to see his full potential. And Steno is kind of just garbage in general, honestly. She's a support type that's really only good against male enemies, and even then, it's not that great of a support. I'd also consider rerolling if you get Dion. They are a decent support servant, but in the early game, you usually want a strong attacker. And if you get anyone else, just decide based whether or not you think you like them. Hey guys, post-recording PokeDude here. While editing the video, I realized that there was an update in the Japanese version that changed the summoning pool. So far, America has not gotten that update at the time of recording this. They removed Dion from the pool and added several new servants. All the new additions are also fine. I'd personally recommend Helena among all of them, but again, this mostly comes down to whether or not you like them. And moving on. Tip number 2. Focus on raising a small team. You're going to be starved for resources in the early game, so you don't want to spread things too thin. Get 3 or 4 servants of different classes leveled up right away, and start working on others as you can afford it. One high-level servant and a decent friend support will easily get you through the first few singularities. Tip number 3. Send friend requests after every battle. There are many players, myself included, who will accept just about any requests they get. Having someone on your friend list means you can use their servant's Noble Phantasm, and it also gives you extra friend points after the battle. Tip number 4. Keep your support lineup up to date. Even if you're just starting out, people are more likely to accept your friend request if you have something on your lineup other than MASH. And after you've been playing for a while, it will also let you accumulate FP faster. Additionally, make sure you register separate normal and event lineups. I did a video a while back if you need help with that. There should be an info card on screen now linking to it. It'll also be in the playlist at the end of the video. And a quick addendum. Eventually there's going to be an update that changes how support lineups work. That video will be obsolete when that happens. Instead of registering individual lineups, all 3 of your lineups will be visible at all times. At that point, you just want to make sure you have at least one of them that has event-appropriate servants and craft essences available. Tip number 5. Mind the card order when selecting your attacks. It's weirdly easy to miss, but when selecting your first card, a message saying all cards blank effects gained. What that means is the properties of that card are added to the second and third cards. Starting with the Buster will make the cards deal more damage, Arts will make them generate more NP gauge, and Quick will generate more crit stars. Although crit star generation isn't very well designed, so I actually don't recommend ever starting with Quick unless it's a quick chain. Anyway, another thing to note is that the second and third cards' own effects are enhanced more if they are selected earlier in the chain. So in the case of a Buster Brave chain, the third card will always have a higher base damage than the first or second. This is good to keep in mind when comparing the crit chances each card has. Oh, and it's important to note that these rules only apply to normal attacks. Noble Phantasms have fixed damage outputs, so attack-based ones usually want to be used first to maximize damage. Additionally, using NPs back-to-back will cause subsequent ones to overcharge. The second NP in a chain will gain 1 overcharge level, and the third will gain 2. This stacks on top of the overcharge gauge, so you can get up to 500% overcharge. Tip number 6. Unless it's an emergency, Saint Quartz is for gacha rolls only. The game gives you an option to use Saint Quartz to restore your AP or to revive your team during battle if you don't have command spells. These are a huge waste of a valuable resource. The game will never put you in an unwinnable situation as long as you mind the level recommendations and class matchups, at least during the main story. So it's better to simply retreat and try again rather than losing precious summoning currency. And using it for AP in most situations is just plain dumb. You can pretty much always clear an event on natural AP or with the apples it provides, as long as you don't skip several days. There are edge cases where it's acceptable if time is running out on an event and you haven't finished the story or maxed out the free servant yet, but you won't ever see that as long as you play a little every day. Barring that, just don't even think about using quartz for that. Tip number 7. Never roll the story banner. Again, Saint Quartz is a limited resource, so you want to make the most of it and only roll on banners that give you a boosted chance at what you want. The only advantage the story banner has is that it will allow you to roll for story-locked servants. But the odds of getting those servants are so low that you might as well wait for them to appear on a rate-up banner. And that about covers it for this video. If there's a subject you'd like to see me tackle, leave a comment and I'll consider it. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out the links to my Patreon and Ko-fi pages in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.